Now at 6, police make arrests after finding an explosive device in Parsons, Kansas. Plus, we're going to look at obstacles caregivers face when preparing children for pre-K. And we'll hear from the Missouri Southern Lions on their upcoming game against Central Missouri.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Authorities in Labette County, Kansas arrested 2 people after finding an explosive device in a vehicle. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. Yesterday evening, Labette County deputies were called to 3803 West Main Street in Parsons about a suspicious SUV. Police say when deputies arrived, they found 3 people coming out of a storage unit that did not belong to them. While searching the SUV, authorities found a pipe bomb, they say. 2 of the people, Daniel Mitchell and Holly Van Winkle, were arrested on active warrants. Mitchell is also charged with criminal damage, criminal use of explosive, and attempted aggravated escape from custody. Van Winkle is charged with drug possession. A Missouri man is charged for the suspected kidnapping and rape of a woman and holding her captive for a month. Authorities say the victim claims 39-year-old Timothy Hazlitt of Excelsior Springs, Missouri, picked her up in early September and kept her in his basement where he whipped and raped her repeatedly. They say he kept her in handcuffs on her wrists and ankles and that she was able to escape when he took his child to school. Hazlitt pleaded not guilty on charges of first-degree rape or attempted rape, first-degree kidnapping, and second-degree assault. He's in jail with a $500,000 bond. Let's check in with Doug Heddy for a first look at the weather.
Well, we got some showers and thunderstorms across the region during the early morning hours. Even had a couple severe thunderstorm warnings, and most of us at least got something. Wasn't heavy, but we got something. 16/100ths of an inch at the Joplin airport puts us a little over 1/4 of an inch for the month so far. But clear skies now. Nothing is going on after this line drove through early this morning. We cleared out. We have plenty of sunshine. These are long gone. Out across southeastern parts of the U.S. and to our north, we got this weak little front, weak little trough that's going to give us some clouds later on tonight. Besides that, it's pretty calm. 72 in Carthage, 72 in Miami. Fort Scott sitting at about 74 degrees. It's been windy the past couple days. This is something we got to keep our eyes on because these winds are going to pick up a little bit for us tomorrow. So we have red flag warnings in effect. I'm going to talk to you more about that here in just a bit.
We'll catch you then. Parents can face a lot of obstacles when raising children. One in particular is the proper care and education before school begins. KOAM is taking an in-depth look at the challenges for parents, daycares, and employment. Our own Amber Jenkins spoke with a local early development school about making sure children have the best resources as they prepare for pre-K.
The simple ABCs of learning can be challenging for kids if they're not in the proper setting. The transition to pre-K is a big step for most children. A smooth transition can benefit a child long after pre-K.
A lot of research that points to children that are in child care programs and preschool programs and how that correlates to success in school later on with reading and math, and also a correlation with high school graduation. And so if we're starting as early as we can and embedding that love of learning, the structure, and just setting them up for success, it's definitely going to benefit them later on in life.
Joplin Early Childhood assesses every child to understand what their needs are and begin teaching on their level.
Screenings for kindergarten readiness, it encompasses a lot of different things. A lot of it is just noticing during the screening, like how are they interacting? Are they willing to go with the screener? Listening to language, are they talking? Are they mainly gesturing? We look at motor skills. Can they stand on one foot? Do they hop? And we see children of all levels and abilities, and we just want to know what they can do so that we can build upon it.
Parents may not realize that preparing kids for pre-K can happen while running errands or in everyday life.
There's a lot of things that parents can do at home to prepare their child to come to pre-K, to come to kindergarten. Things like narrating your day. Like the more words you're exposing your child to, the more likely that just helps develop language so much quicker. Talking about mom's making lunch today, I'm boiling the water, and just really just exposing your child to as many words and situations as you can.
One local mom learned that normalizing learning will help a child develop a lifetime long passion for learning.
I would just like normalize it, make it a part of your just regular conversations that you're having with your kiddos. Find other parents with kiddos the same age, kind of create that community and that network. And just continue sharing experiences with them. You know, I think just being available to them and helping them get connected is one of the best things you can do to kind of foster that.
One of the main goals is to get your kid excited about learning.
He loves it. The first week of school, he cried when we got to Friday because he found out he couldn't go to school on Saturday. I'm sure it won't be like that forever, but no, he really hasn't been enjoying kindergarten a lot. My youngest, he's 2, and he's always really sad he can't go to school with his brother. So we get a lot of good time doing a lot of those things too.
As parents of kids starting to transition into pre-K, keep this in mind.
Sometimes parents are afraid that they're gonna mess their kids up, or you know, there's a lot of pressure to have your kids ready for preschool or kindergarten, and I would just emphasize kids learn in different ways and at different stages, so maybe take a little pressure off yourself as a parent and just do your very best with your kids. I think that's all anybody can ask for.
Amber joins us now. Boy, a lot can go into the pre-screening for these kids.
Yeah, definitely. They are mostly looking for if the child is responsive, like verbally, or if they're just shrugging their shoulders, if they're willing to play and interact with their peers, are mostly the big things you're looking for while screening and accepting children in pre-K.
Very good. Amber Jenkins. Thanks, Amber.
Thank you.
The Great Plains Alliance of Industrial Park in Parsons, Kansas is celebrating their 10th anniversary today. The celebration gives businesses an opportunity to hear about the future of the industrial park and to meet stakeholders who are partnering with Great Plains Development Authority. At the event, Park My Fleet announced their partnership with GPIP.
There's so many aspects about it in terms of sustainability and decarbonization that I thought was a perfect match for what Park My Fleet's core values and visions is.
Park My Fleet offers drivers who transport vehicles for commercial fleets, rental companies, equipment manufacturers, and dealerships. Coming up, we're going to look at enrollment rates with undergraduates for schools partnered with Rooted Alliance, plus how businesses and organizations had the chance to meet students at Missouri Southern. As undergraduate enrollment across the country continues to decline, schools with Rooted Alliance advisors have seen the opposite, with enrollment rates increasing by an average of 10.5%. Reporter Madison Horner explains what Rooted is and the impact advisors are having on students in Southwest Missouri.
Rooted Alliance advisors are trained and placed in rural high schools in various states, one of those schools being Hollister High School. The mission of Rooted Alliance is to create a path to a stronger future for students in rural America because many rural students face unique barriers to college and career access.
A student will come to me and say, like, well, I can't pay for college. Like, my parents have not gone to school. They don't know what this looks like. I feel there's a lot of stigma with student loans, and just with a lot of that information, they get kind of scared and nervous.
Student Success Advisor Ari Good works alongside school counselors to ensure every student has a strong plan for life success after graduation and resources like financial assistance to make that plan a reality. Last fall, the state announced an initiative to use federal relief dollars to expand the program to at least 135 additional rural high schools. Many rural students say the process of applying for college can be overwhelming, and if it weren't for their advisor, they wouldn't be going to college.
My dream school is Belmont University in Nashville, and it is about $55,000 a year.
Student Rachel Robinson says Miss Good has walked her through the application process and looked at different scholarships available.
I just got accepted into MSU. I think it would be a lot of weight on me if she was not helping me. I feel like I wouldn't know where to start on anything.
Once they see that these things are capable and probable for them, I think it really alleviates a lot of stress and just really helps them see that there is that path for their student, even in a rural area.
Earlier this year, state lawmakers and Missouri Governor Mike Parsons dedicated $9 million in budget funding to keep that program growing. Missouri Southern today hosted an internship expo. It was a chance for businesses and organizations to meet with students and alumni who might be looking for professional experiences. Officials say internships have shown to be a great way to help students develop the skills they need for a career. The expo took place on the 3rd floor of the Billingsley Student Center. Missouri Southern partnered with Active Minds to send silence packing in the Oval. Active Minds is a suicide prevention nonprofit working to change the culture around mental health. The Send Silence Packing display features stories of those who are affected by suicide. Those stories are attached to backpacks that are then laid out across the lawn and hallway for students to read.
I think by showing how common suicide actually is among students, I think that will help bring awareness and hopefully help lower the suicide rates of students in college and on MSSU's campus.
If you're in crisis or thinking about suicide, you can text BRAVE to 741-741. A little bit later, we're going to hear from Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes on their big game against the Buffalo Bills coming up on Sunday.
Plus, the winds are going to pick up a bit over the next couple days. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, of course, we had showers. We had some thunderstorms across the region during the morning hours, even a couple severe thunderstorms across southeast Kansas, southwest Missouri. But then we cleared out. Looks pretty good. A nice shot of our Lander Chevrolet Tower Cam. This is on the southeast side of the city, so we're looking at east and westbound traffic of I-44. It looks pretty good at this point in time. All right, during the morning hours, of course, we had showers. We had thunderstorms that pushed through the region. Again, some of those storms were strong, had some low-grade severe. But if we look at rainfall amounts, this is over the past 48 hours with our two little systems. The lighter color showing 1/4 of an inch or less, but there are a few pockets where you see the green popping up anywhere from 1/4 to 1/2 an inch. So not a ton, but any that we can get definitely helps out just a bit. 71 in Stockton. We have 72 in Neosho, 72 in Grove, 75, Anita, 75 in Chanute. Pittsburgh sitting at 72. It's been windy the past couple days. It was breezy out there for us today. The winds are actually starting to die down just a little bit, so they're not going to be too strong tonight, but they will start to crank back up tomorrow, and the humidity is very low, so that's why we have red flag warnings in effect for us tomorrow. In fact, look at our humidity right now, 24%. 72 at the airport in Joplin. So by morning, we'll have clear skies all night, 66 at 7, 57 by midnight, 48 by 6, overnight low down to about 47 degrees. But we have clear skies. There's nothing going on here. All those thunderstorms we had earlier today, these are across the southeastern parts of the U.S. Another little wave spinning up through Minnesota. You can see some clouds and a couple little showers. This little band of clouds will push through later on tonight. But overall, I think that's all we're going to see. We keep getting waves kind of rotating around this big area of low pressure. Now that we are in the new pattern, this is going to be a returning feature that we see several times during the winter, and that screams Arctic outbreaks. So as I watch the new pattern, I'm getting more and more details and should have that all figured out. Winter forecast we'll do here in about a month or so. All right, let's go through time tonight. A few little clouds kind of shoot through. We drop back mid-40s, so a chilly start. As we get into the morning hours, we warm up quickly. Here's the noon hour into the mid-60s. By the afternoon, most of us are going to top out right around 70 degrees. So temperatures look pretty good. 48 at 7, 66 by noon, 69 by 7. Northwesterly winds start to pick up during the afternoon at about 10 to 20 miles per hour, but we're going to have gusts higher than that. So when we start the day, not bad. Here's 6 a.m. As we get through the morning hours into the afternoon, they really start to pick up. Winds gusting 25 to 30, maybe 35 miles per hour. So we're kind of in that category of, yeah, your trash can is going to be knocked over, could be in your neighbor's yard. It's kind of right in there. Shouldn't go anywhere, but it's definitely not going to stay in place as we get into tomorrow afternoon. And we are going to make it an alert day because it's so dry, you definitely don't want to burn. 70 tomorrow, 79 on Friday, 78 Saturday. Could get a few showers. I know it's Maple Leaf Saturday, so we'll have to keep our eyes on that. Cooling down just a bit, 69 on Sunday, 63 on Monday. Look at those 30s Tuesday and Wednesday, so we may push that frost level.
Wow.
Yeah, so we'll have to watch that.
Yeah, I guess we should expect that in late October.
Yeah.
It seems early. Thanks, Chuck. Still ahead, Webb City and McDonald County softball square off tonight in the district semifinals, and the Missouri Southern Lions aim for back-to-back wins this weekend against Central Missouri. We're going to hear from the Lions on their matchup with the Mules next.
The Missouri Southern Lions are at the midway point of the football season. The Lions are 4-2 in their first 6 games after beating Lincoln on homecoming weekend 37-14 last week. Now, Southern has 5 games left, beginning on Saturday with a trip to face Central Missouri. Now, the Mules have struggled a bit this season, heading into this weekend with a 1-5 overall record. The Lions right now are second in the MIAA with 17 sacks in the first 6 games. They're going to try to keep harassing the quarterback on Saturday against a Mules team that's already given up 14 sacks this season.
We've got some guys that have talent, and I think that always helps, but we also have, these guys have a tremendous motor, and so they just keep going. A lot of the sacks that we're getting are on pursuit or second counter moves, and so that's helping us a bunch. And then I think our back end is starting to come together a little bit, you know. You're starting to give some coverage pictures that I think are confusing quarterbacks, and so it's allowed our defensive ends and D-line to kind of pin their ears back.
This week is another big game for the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs hit the field on Sunday, hosting the AFC rival Buffalo Bills. And both of these teams 4-1 to begin the season. Right now, even though it is at Arrowhead on Sunday, the Chiefs are 3-point underdogs. It's the first time in Patrick Mahomes' career he's an underdog at home, snapping a 41-game streak of being favored at Arrowhead. Now here's Mahomes on being the underdog in his own place.
It kind of is what it is. Our job is to go out there and find a way to win a football game, and it's a tough place to play at Arrowhead. And they've won here before, but we've also handled business before, so it's going to be up to us to go out there and handle business when it comes on Sunday.
I think if you look at all their positions, they're solid and very, they're good players at all the positions. You don't see a lot of weaknesses there. They're well coached. They understand the scheme. I mean, they've been doing it now for a while, and they've got it.
The Webb City Cardinals are hosting the Class 4 District 7 softball tournament this week. And the Cards won their first round game over Bolivar last night to earn a spot in the semifinals. And tonight, Webb City faces McDonald County, with the winner advancing to tomorrow night's district championship. Now that one will get started in just a few minutes in Webb City. We'll have the latest from the game right here tonight at 10. Well, the Miami War Dogs hit the road today to the 4A state softball tournament in Oklahoma City. And the War Dogs will play in OKC tomorrow in the state quarterfinals, facing Bristow. They had a police escort out of town and everything today. Miami is 23-9 overall, and it is the first time they've earned a spot in the 4A state tournament since 1996. And that's a look at sports. We're back with more news right after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. Roderick Walker served in the U.S. Army during World War II. The Altamont, Kansas native was stationed in Italy, Germany, and Korea. And we're proud to salute Corporal Roderick Walker, a 4-state hero. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News on Fox 14 after MLB baseball. The Biden administration is vowing consequences for Saudi Arabia and the decision by OPEC to cut global oil production. Also, parents accuse Amazon of selling suicide kits to teenagers. And the labor crisis in moving America's goods by trucks worsens as more truck driving jobs are lost last month. That and a lot more, of course, coming up tonight. KOAM News on Fox 14 after the MLB game. Right now, pretty pleasant evening out there, Doug.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. Of course, the evening daylight hour shortening up on us, and chilly tonight. We'll drop back into the mid-40s. 70 tomorrow. The winds are going to be gusting over 30. It's very dry, so an alert day for a red flag warning.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here at 10. Let's make it a great evening.